We all make mistakes, especially when we are younger, but oftentimes even into our later years. And because no one's perfect, we accept this fact as part of the human experience. But there's a dangerous narrative that some people are spreading when it comes to living life and making mistakes, especially around dating. So in this video, I'm going to react to a short clip from the Humans with Brains podcast that sheds light on this narrative. And then I'll share my ideas on having a balanced view of dating mistakes. If you're new here, I go by TSF. That sounds familiar. And for those returning, you know how we do. When I eat, all my people eat too. Get your dinner set. We about to eat on this one.
I also think that it's okay to make mistakes, and I also think that it's okay to like the pace that you learn your mistakes. It doesn't make you an idiot, or it doesn't make anybody enabling you anything. You're just acknowledging the pace of the learning process where you make, where you learn from your mistakes.
I understand that element, but I fundamentally disagree with you. Mistakes are not okay. If they were okay, they wouldn't be called mistakes. They'd be called okays. And that's the problem.
Yeah, but you're supposed to learn from your mistakes.
Just because you're supposed to learn from it don't mean it's okay.
But nobody said it was okay.
You just said mistakes are okay.
I also think that it's okay to make mistakes.
I didn't say it's okay to make mistakes. Or
It's okay to make mistakes.
You did, in fact, say that.
How's that even life? I'm trying to understand how that is even life. You can't go through life and not make mistakes.
That's not what I'm
Exactly.
saying. Neither one of y'all are letting me land. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying what I'm saying. People who do that tend to continue to make the same mistakes over and over again, and they are not learning. Because if you did it again, did you learn? Where's the evidence that you learned if you made the same mistake again? There's no evidence
what
that
if
you actually
they learned it from the first time, but they were just taking their time with the pace they're learning
let's just
it?
use sport.
Are we going to make mistakes? Yes. Should you learn from your mistakes? Yes, but they're not okay. Insurance should pay you out if you have a car accident, and they will. But does that mean the car accident is okay? No, it was not okay.
I don't know what difference it makes.
I'm admonishing anyone that wants to follow what I'm saying. Do not adopt the mentality that mistakes are okay. If they happen, acknowledge them and extract what you can learn from them. But if you adapt that mentality that they're okay, it's cool, you're gonna keep making the same mistake. And after you make the mistake once, it's no longer a mistake, it's a choice. You can only make a mistake one time. After the first time, it ain't a mistake no more, that's a choice.
Okay.
Well, this is what happens when you hear something that sounds logical, so you start repeating it. Then you realize you hadn't really thought it all the way through to see if the belief held up to scrutiny. You see, what's going on here is these two women are mixing up two different ideas. They're conflating when a person makes an honest mistake and when a person repeatedly does dumb stuff. Those are two totally different things. A mistake is defined as an action, decision, or judgment that's incorrect, misguided, or produces an unintended result. Mistakes often stem from carelessness, poor judgment, or inadequate knowledge. So yeah, anyone can make a mistake, no matter what their age. But you notice how the first woman speaks of liking the pace at which she's learning from her mistakes? What kind of mistakes is she talking about? Context clues from their larger conversation points to mistakes in dating. In other words, dating for the wrong reasons, dating the wrong types of people, and not doing the hard work of vetting for suitability. Then there's going with what feels right in the moment, as opposed to what will likely yield the best overall results. Remember, we read the definition, so none of those could be classified as a mistake. Maybe the first time you do it. But what she's describing is knowingly repeating a pattern of unhelpful dating practices. And that, my friends and family, is just as my guy 6 says, no longer a mistake, but a choice. Maybe someone can tell me, when did banging your head against a wall and expecting a different result become thought of as smart behavior? A better way to ask that question would be, how many times do you need to get burned by fire before you realize that fire is hot? Personally, I don't like using the burn by fire analogy because it allows people to think that Learning by fire is the only effective way a person can grasp life's lessons, and that's not true at all. It was once said that a fool learns from his own mistakes, but a wise man learns from the mistakes of others. You see, you don't have to touch fire to know that it's hot and has destructive power. You can observe what it does to others and learn that same lesson, only without the pain, scars, or loss that occurs by insisting on the right to touch it yourself. And that's the main point. They insist on the right to touch the fire, the right to persist in unhelpful behavior, presumably until they get tired of the same results. Frankly speaking, that's low kid logic, otherwise known as an immature mind state. Conversely, a mature person looks at what happens to others when they follow a particular course of action. And based on what they see, they'll decide that, I don't want that for myself, and so they'll avoid it. Now apply that to dating. They see the likely outcome of someone who dates for fun and without intention, and they might conclude that more often than not, it doesn't yield good results. They observe that dating someone who checks all the superficial boxes like looks, charisma, and money, but lacking in character is not a good deal. I mean, how many times must one get taken all down through there before they finally tell themselves, I gotta try something different? Because let's face it, some people do like a little toxicity in their relationships, thinking it's fun and exciting in the moment. But a mature person stays away from all that. If we're honest with ourselves, we already know it's not wise to date someone who's a liar or untrustworthy. And entertaining someone who struggles with monogamy and commitment is just a recipe for heartache. Life is about trade-offs, and dating is no different. For the fellas, dating the type of chick who's pretty and charming, free-spirited, maybe even a little crazy, might be exciting in the moment, but what really do you have to show for it? For the women, dating the type of man who's tall and handsome, spontaneous, and maybe a little dangerous might be exciting in the moment, but what really do you have to show for it? Some people think these experiences are teaching us. I would argue that it's doing just the opposite. I would argue that most people aren't slow learners, but in fact, they like wallowing in inexperience and not being accountable. If you don't take anything away from this discussion, I want you to remember this. Character is built through discipline, not through repeated failures. Young women and young men love being able to say, I'm grown. Oh yeah? Does your life's choices give evidence that you're grown? Because a part of actually being grown is making mature decisions, even when that decision is not the most popular or the easiest, even if the other way will give you temporary enjoyment and instant gratification. The mature person exercises foresight and chooses the best option consistently. And if you happen to make a mistake because you didn't know any better, learn the lesson and be resolved to never repeat that mistake again. Now that we got some understanding, I'm about to get up through here on y'all. If you got value from this video, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and watch one of these videos next.